would be tax benefits. Tax benefit has done very good service to the wind sector, where the 80% investment allowance in the first year boosted the capacity. But the capacity got installed, but there was no generation of power. Then at PFC, we looked at it, we have funded the project, the units have come up, the installed capacity is there, but there is no generation. Then we requested MNRE to shift over to GBL, that is generation-based incentive. And the generation incentive was resorted to, which led to increase in generation from the wind sector. Then there is a renewable purchase obligation. This renewable purchase obligation is fixed by the regulator, and the utilities and the DISCOMs who generate and sell power are supposed to be purchasing the renewable purchase, either generate, or if they are not able to generate, to purchase the REC, renewable energy certificates, so that they can compensate for the energy which they are not generating. The RECs were actually created with a view to provide liquidity to the renewable energy sector, and especially the photovoltaic and CSP and wind energy. That is, one generates and one meets the obligation, and for balance he realizes the certificates, and these certificates are like the transferable instruments which he can sell. But due to certain anomalies, due to certain what you call as the aberrations, this has not been able to serve the purpose, and they need to be addressed so that there is a liquid market for RECs, where the generator can realize and make further investment and services get. And last but not least, the Act provided the open access, which again was supposed to be a very good instrument, but for various reasons it has not been able to succeed. These are the various mechanisms which were available. And then the instruments that are available are generally the debt, the equity, then the mezzanine equity, as Mr. Copley had just said, and you can have a partial risk guarantee, or there can be credit enhancement, or there could be a set of alternatives. That is, the whole project is broken into 4 parts. You can have pre-construction insurance, you can have construction insurance, you can have project insurance, you can have post-project operation insurance. Now, once you introduce these insurance products, there will be an intensive risk mitigation, and there will be a migration of risk from one category to the other with a reduced risk. With the result, the lender's risk will be substantially reduced. There is a need to look at these innovative approaches as to how to lengthen maturity, how to lead to a fixed rate, how to improve the terms, how to mitigate the risk and ensure that the projects are executed, and there are agencies for project execution. And last but not the least, we look at the 3 fundamental things, that is the resources, technology, off-taker, the health of the power purchaser, and the project development. Once these risks are addressed, the funding will come forward and will come in a big way. Funding is of course taking place, as said, around 8,000 crores are being done, but basically what is required is more than 20 to 25,000 rupees a year, crore rupees a year for the next 5 years. Because we need something like $30 billion for next 5 years, that is from 12 to 17. So this is what, and the ECB limits and the 300 basis points if it is less than 5 years, 500 basis points if it is more than 5 years, all those need to be fine-tuned and to be left to the market to find the best level which it can sustain and which can survive and which can still make the project viable and profitable, and for the borrower to borrow and for the still have a tariff which the consumer is willing to pay and can pay and is sustainable. So with these, I think these are the things which can be done and the factors which are inhibiting. One is the inflation, which of course is adding to the cost. Then the competing investment, other opportunities for alternative investment which offer a higher return. Then there is for foreign investor, there is a country risk. Then there is a regulatory risk. That is, somebody pointed out the way the tariff has varied in Gujarat. And the cost of currency swap, as Mr. Popli had said, currency swap is very important. If there are comprehensive swaps available, then perhaps the cost of foreign borrowing, which is today 10.5 to 11%, can be brought down by 1.5, at least 1.5 to 2%, and made to that extent that will add to the return on investment and make the sector more attractive for investment. And then of course the short tenures and the variable rate of interest are other hurdles which need to be addressed by the monetary regulator or the government or the industry, or all taken together, because that is where the buck stops. Thank you.